Greetings gamers, I'm Shootkapow. Pokemon Leaf Green with only one Apom was a nice, quick run, but now it's time to hop right back into the tough ones with a good old-fashioned monotype hardcore Nuzlocke. Today's the day I figured out if I can beat a Nuzlocke of Pokemon Emerald using only grass types. Looking at our encounter list, we have a grand total of 9 encounters, those being Sceptile, Ludicolo, Shiftry, Breloom, Vileplume, Roselia, Cacturne, and Cradily, and Tropius. We have decent type coverage, but we're going to be pretty weak to flying until we get Cradily. As always, I'm writing the scripts that go through the challenge, so all this part is being written before the run started. Go ahead and leave your guesses on how many attempts it'll take to win. Hoenn's a weird region for grass types, with some top gyms near the middle of the game, but a lot of water late game. I'm mostly worried about Flannery, who's always an issue, and Winona, who Cradily will have to carry against. Let's go ahead and give a quick recap of the rules. Of course, we're only allowed 1 encounter per grass-type Pokemon, and 1 grass-type encounter per route on top of that. If a Pokemon faints, it must be boxed permanently, and no items are allowed to be used in battle. Only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of battle are permitted by the rules. We're not allowed to overlevel past the gym leader's ace Pokemon either. With that, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more, and let's hop right into the run. We start off by picking Trico, the starter I previously determined to be the worst starter in Emerald. However, it's still a great mon, hitting hard and getting some good moves. This also means Brendan will have Blaziken, the hardest for us to fight. Well, he won't actually have Blaziken, he'll have Combusken. Our Trico Chamomile has a lax nature, boosting our defense in exchange for special defense, which is alright. Our Lotad on the next route, aptly named Lilypad, has a quiet nature, boosting special attack and lowering speed, which is also pretty good. We help while we catch a Ralts after failing to convince him of the glory of grass types, but then our spirits are raised when we catch a Shroomish named Yarrow, who also has a quiet nature. I'm feeling pretty good about Roxanne for sure. Her Nosepass could be annoying, but I have a plan. Oh, and also Lilypad evolves level 14. We lead with Yarrow, who outgoes her Geodude, and then we set up Leech Seed on her Nosepass, then paralyze it as it just uses status moves. We chip it down with Absorb as it only hits us once, and finish it off with a crit. Props to Yarrow for sweeping that gem. That fight was easy, but Brawly's up next, and his bulk up Makuhita could pose some serious issues. We don't have the damage output to deal with it quickly, so we'll have to use Yarrow's Leech Seed and Sun Spore to try to whittle it down. Luckily, Chamomile evolves before then, so we should hopefully have a bit more damage output. We start the fight and lead Yarrow into his Machop. We crit Mega Drain and do over half as it hits a Brick Break, and we Leech Seed to keep him out of healing range as we get hit again, then finish him off with a Mega Drain. Meditite does nothing as we take it down with 3 Mega Drains, and Makuhito's out last. We Leech Seed it as it does a chunk of our health with Vital Throw, and then we paralyze it as it just goes for Bulk Up after. We switch to Lilypad, who takes about half from Vital Throw, and we fake out for more Leech Seed healing. From there, Ground keeps his attack low enough for us to chip him down, winning us the fight. That was easier than expected. I'm not too scared of Watson right now, but I know the Brendan fight's gonna be awful. We can get an Oddish before then at least, and we name our new friend Goldenrod. Also, since I don't really have anything to talk about right now, join my Discord. It's always fun to hang out with you guys there, and you can even request challenges for future videos. Oh, and Goldenrod evolves into a Gloom before Brendan. Time for the fight! We lead Chamomile into his Wingull, who goes down to 1 Rock Tomb. Combusken's out next, so we have to switch to Lilypad on the Ember. We get chip damage with Fake Out, then switch to Yarrow on a Peck. Effect Spore doesn't proc, but we hit a Leech Seed as we luckily dodge a crit. We switch back to Lilypad and ship Combusken down, and we easily 1v1 his last Pokemon Wombre, winning us the fight. Afterward, we're just taking out trainers to level up for Watson. Yarrow evolves into Breloom, who we can now teach Mach Punch, and she'll be a key player from here on out. Breloom has a huge attack stat of 130, supported by Bulk Up and Mach Punch, and it does huge damage to a wide variety of mons. Hopefully it'll make it to Norman. Right now though, it's time to see how she fares against Watson's electric types. We lead Goldenrod, who puts Voltorb to sleep, and then switch in Yarrow, set up a Bulk Up, and take it out with Mach Punch. After that, we set up +6 on Electrike, heal off its Static Barrow with a Cherry Berry, and sweep the rest of the team. Pretty easy fight as expected. The road to Mount Chimney is long, but it's not like we have nothing to look forward to. Flannery is of course going to be an issue, and Maxie could also be tough. Luckily, on Route 114, there's a 1% encounter rate for Nuzlocke, who's going to be another powerhouse alongside Yarrow, and another fake-out user for Lilypad. We name her Tansy, watch a guy get mugged, and then head out to take on Maxie. We lead with Yarrow again, who sets up 2 Bulk Ups on its Mightyena. We Oko it and Camera Up comes out, but it doesn't go down to a Headbutt. Luckily, it just uses Focus Energy as we take it down, and Zubat gets outspread in one shot as well. Flannery has the potential to be tough though. We lead with Lilypad, and our first priority is to get Numel to -6 accuracy with Flash. Luckily, we land all of them, and Numel is now at -4 from hitting 2 overheats. We switch to Yarrow and set up 6 Bulk Ups, and then just sweep our way through the gym with ease. Man, Breloom is insane! I sure wonder how we're gonna beat Norman. Before heading back to Petalburg though, we first make a detour to the desert, a place where, as we all know, grass types thrive. There, we find our old friend Cactus Juice the Cacnea, who will probably be joining the squad in place of Tansy due to his access to Leech Seed. Oh, and also, on the way back I took the Root Fossil. I knew if I didn't say what I took, you don't ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone ask anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. With that bit done, you, the Lilyleaf, joins the squad, finally giving us a full party of 6. Now it's time to fight Norman, and that's actually went a little differently than expected. Splint is out first with Psybeam and Teeter Dance, meaning Yarrow can't just set up for free. We instead lead Goldenrod, who poisons Spinda as she takes a weak Psybeam. We then switch to Lilypad on an Encore, and then use Fake Out for extra chip damage. I probably could have gone Kinmeal and Oko, but old habits die hard. After that, Gyaro comes out, but she takes the side beam and gets confused, ending up at low health and only +1 when the Spinda goes down. We still Oko the next 2 mons, but slacking lives on exactly half. I thought we were doomed as Facade came out, but Gyaro the Legend lived on 10 HP because of the defense boost, finding her take out the slacking on the follow-up for a tense win. That was probably our scariest fight in a while. Unfortunately, Winona's coming up next, so it's not going to stop anytime soon. I've really got to tighten up my gameplay here, or I don't know what's going to happen. Luckily, we can head to the abandoned ship now to get an Ice Beam TM, letting Lilypad hit flying types hard. We can also catch our last team member, a Tropius named Palm, since Roselia is actually unobtainable in Emerald. Oh no, how will I ever beat the run now? Well, one unfortunate thing that happens is losing Cactus Juice to bad confusion luck in the Weather Institute. Speed Up will do that to you, but they had their time to shine, and Nuzleaf was probably better anyway. We beat up Brendan, and now it's time to go ahead and take on Winona. We lead Lilypad into her Swampert, who just goes down to the combo of Fake Out and Ice Beam. Pelipper's next, and it's an issue, so I put it to sleep with Goldenrod like all my other problems. From there, it's a nice switch to Gyaro, who sets up to +5 and sweeps the rest of the team. I can tell Gyara's going to be the MVP of this run. We've got a long road until Tate and Liza, with quite a bit to do before then. First, we grab a Leaf Stone off the ground to evolve Tansy into a Shift Tree, so she'll hit much harder now. Chamomile also evolves, giving us a Sceptile to decimate our opponents with. Goldenrod learns Moonlight, giving her reliable recovery, and we also get the TM for Giga Drain from this girl who also really likes grass types, but surprise, I forgot to record the dialogue. Shocking, I know. We have a choice between teaching this to Tansy, Goldenrod, and Yu. This would give Tansy a strong stab option, Yu a recovery outside of Ingrain, which is often a death sentence to use, or it could make Goldenrod much less passive. I have time to decide though, so I'll hold on to it and think it over. Oh, I also forgot to record Mount Pyre, so here's some Maxi fight. Midiena's annoying, but we eventually managed to set up on it with Gyaro. We dodge a crit against Crobat to take it out with a +2 strength. Then we just switch to Lilypad and take out Camerupt, also risking a crit. PSA, this is exactly how not to do a potentially tough fight. I went into it blind, almost got swept by Crobat, and risked 2 potentially run-ended crits. Do not play your Nuzlocke how I played this fight, and always, always, always play around the critical hit. It's a lesson from Flygon HG that I apparently still need to learn. With that out of the way though, we obviously sweep through the Aqua Hideout, letting us reach Mosty, where Yu evolves into the incredibly bulky Cradily, and where you might as well take on Tate and Liza. We lead with Tansy and Lilypad, and we use Fake Out on Zatsu as Lilypad goes for a surprisingly weak Surf. We get hit by a weak Earthquake, but then Zatsu goes for Sunny Day before going down, and Lilypad's subsequent Surf did pitiful damage to Claydol and Moonstone. From here we need to reassess our situation, so I switched Lilypad into Palm and Tansy into Chamomile to refresh our Fake Outs. Chamomile didn't take much from Earthquake, but then Light Screen went up, lowering our damage even more. I switched Palm back into Lilypad and crit Claydol with the Leaf Blade, but then I watched in horror as Chamomile took huge damage from Psychic. Even worse, he needed to stay in to get off crucial damage on the terrifying Flamethrower Soul Rock, so, with a heavy heart, I watched as Tate and Liza claimed the second death of the run, our beloved starter and our best grass stab user. Luckily, Claydol took a huge chunk of damage and used up its Citrus Berry, and Tansy came back out to hit it with another Fake Out. Unfortunately, we were unable to capitalize because Lilypad gets hit by Solrock's Hypnosis, forcing us to switch him out into Palm. Luckily, Tansy outspeeds and takes out Solrock with a huge Faint attack. Wintertone uses Calm Light, but it's 2-on-1 and it goes down in a couple turns. That battle was actually really fun. It almost felt like an actual VGC battle, especially so considering I only used 4 Pokemon, never switching in Gyaro or Yu. We have another double battle next against Maxie and some random Magma Grunt. They lead Camerupt and Midiana, but they both go down in a couple of surges as Steven sets up Reflect. However, Golbat and Crobat come out next, so I switch into Yu. Unfortunately, they just double into Matang, but I didn't want to risk losing Lilypad. Crobat takes a Confuse Ray into Psychic, but confuses us the next turn. It goes down to Psychic as we hit ourselves, but the next turn we confuse Maxie's Camerupt, making it hit itself. Matang sets up a useless Light Screen, but Camerupt takes big damage from Giga Drain. Unfortunately, it immediately snips out of Confusion and does huge damage with an Earthquake, taking out Matang. We're forced out into Tansy as Steven, the idiot, switches in Aggron on an Earthquake, but it hits Golbat with a pretty dang raw Thunder. Earthquake does terrifying damage to Tansy, but it also brings Midiana into the red. We hit it with Fake Out in the next turn as Steven Skarmory takes out Midiana, and we finish it off with a Feint Attack, winning the fight. Man, what a great couple battles. The run as a whole has been super fun so far, and it's about to get even better now that we have Dive, letting us get a Green Shard and a Blue Shard to trade for a Leaf Stone and a Water Stone, finally evolving Goldenrod and Lilypad. I also ended up teaching Yu Giga Drain, making it much less passive and giving it low recovery. We still have one more Aqua base to go through before fighting Juan, who will probably be a cakewalk up until Kingdra. Even then, we have some sure hit moves to get through Double Team. Not many, but some. Despite Crobat's shenanigans, Archie is still pretty easy, and after making our daily run of Sky Pillar, it's time to take on Juan. His lead left disc is annoying, but it can't do anything to Palm when she takes it out. This baits out Celia though, who we switch to Lilypad on as it uses Roar Beam. We take it out easily, but next is Kingdra. We go back and forth with it a bit, but we eventually catch it asleep, and we switch to Tansy and catch another Breath Cycle. Eventually, we manage to crit it down, and the rest of his team can't touch her as we score a quick victory. Well, here we are. After quickly sweeping Wally with Lilypad, we reached the Pokemon League, our final challenge. Here's our team going in. First up is Goldenrod the Vileplume, sporting a Miracle Seed. She's our support, boasting great defensive stats, reliable recovery in Moonlight, and the great status moves Poison Powder and Sleep Powder. Palm the Tropius holding a Citrus Berry is our bulky offense, with respectable attack along with Fly and Earthquake, and she'll be a good asset throughout the league run. Lilypad is our nuke. A Mystic Water boosted Sap Surf coming off that 148 special attack? Not much is living that. Ice Beam is great coverage, Fake Out pairs well with Goldenrod's Poison, and Break Break is there. Tansy is our traditional fast sweeper, boasting an incredible 152 attack and 134 special attack supported by growth. A Black Blast boosted feint attack, especially with the ability to raise its power, is great. Our Wall U, supporting incredible defense and decent offense, is our out against many of the strong Pokemon the league has to offer. Double Team supported by Confuse Ray and Alexa and sets is a super annoying combo, making me almost feel sorry for the league members facing this thing. Finally, this team's fearless, well, one fear leader, Yero the Breloom, is a terrifying foe for anything that isn't a ghost. Or a bird. Make that 2 fears, I guess. However, even the most powerful creature in the sky isn't doing anything to this girl boss after she sets up to +6 defense, and with a priority Mach Punch, it's pretty over at that point. I'm proud of the squad, and I believe wholeheartedly that we can pull out a win on this first attempt. Leave your final guesses on whether or not we can win in the comments below. Let's do this. First is Dark Trainer Sydney. We beat Lilypad, who ends up sweeping his entire team. Crawdaunt lives a surf, but just sets up Sword Stance and Heal Stalls to take it down easily. Second is Ghost Trainer Phoebe, and this one was a bit more expected. We lead Tansy, set up one growth, and then one-shot her entire team apart from Sableye, who just uses Double Team and gets our sure hit move. Third is Ice Trainer Glacia, a bit more of a toughie, but she still gets swept by Yero. I misclick against one of her Glalie and use Bulk Up, but we're never punished as her follow-up Ice Beam can't stop us, and we Mach Punch our way to victory. Fourth is Dragon Trainer Drake, and we finally have an interesting fight. I was feeling cocky, something that's never good in a Nuzlocke, so I led Yero and used Bulk Up as Shogun Whip to protect. I took it out with a Sky Uppercut, and next was Flygon, who outsped and did half her health with a Flamethrower. Luckily, we took it out in the follow-up, but I once again overestimated Yero's speed, and my hubris led to the death of possibly my greatest offensive mon, and Yero fell. I don't think I'll ever forgive myself for that one. The run is definitely still winnable, but Yero is one of my oldest team members and swept so many fights for us. Lilypad is able to come out and finish the job after Goldenrod forces Altaria to switch, but the fight was won at great cost. Finally, we have a pretty tough fight ahead of us. I don't know if our team of 5 grass types will be a match for Wallace's team of waters. In all seriousness, he has a bulky team with good coverage, and we might have some issues. We lead Tansy into Wailord, who we take down to 2 lucky Bullet Seeds after a growth thanks to some lucky Blizzard misses. Magnetic comes out after, and Tansy's work is done, so all that's left is to get Chip and let it go down. However, Tansy pulls an absolutely clutch 5-hit Bullet Seed, ending at a crit to take the Magnetic down beautifully. After that is Tentacruel, who we hit hard with the Shadow Ball as Tansy finally rests, and then we send out Lilypad, who gets chip damage with Fake Out. But I greatly underestimated Tentacruel, who outspeeds and hits a big Sludge Bomb, poisoning us, and it barely takes anything from Surf. We switch to Goldenrod on the heel, and she manages to dodge RNG and put it to sleep. The Palm's Earthquake is unable to score the Oko, letting the full restore wake up the Tentacruel. Luckily, we dodge another crit and freeze and take it on the follow-up, and the next out is Ludicolo. We stall it for a while and it keeps going for Double Team, but eventually it lands a double crit Surf, taking out Palm in an awful stroke of luck. We have to improvise, and we send out Goldenrod, who lands a lucky Poison Powder, putting the Ludicolo on a timer. We stall it out with Moonlight until it goes down, and Whiscash after barely touches us as we 2-shot it. Finally is Gyarados, and we poison it as well as it starts to set up. We switch to U, but it lands a devastating crit Earthquake, putting us into KO range. Luckily, it just dances again, letting us confuse it, but it doesn't kick in as U goes down as well. The slaughter ends here though, as Lilypad stalls more of the Fake Out, surviving on 17 HP from the poison and letting us switch to Goldenrod on a lucky Confusion proc, wanting us to fight, getting us into the Hall of Fame. But at what cost? This is, without a doubt, one of my least proud runs of a Pokemon game, maybe ever. I relied far too much on luck, winging fights and doing little to no preparation, and it's a wonder that I managed to somehow beat the run in the first attempt. Wallace's empty words of praise fall on deaf ears, as we both know the truth deep down. While I enter the Hall of Fame now, this run was a failure all along. With a heavy heart, it's time to honor our fallen teammates, and I don't expect any of their spirits to forgive me for the atrocity I committed in uploading this challenge. Cactus Juice, you admittedly had your time in the spotlight, but never getting to even evolve must have been brutal. You deserved your final triumph, but my arrogance denied you of it. Chamomile, you saved your teammates from the fury of Solrock's flamethrower, and I commend you with that. You were one of the more noble sacrifices of this bunch, though we greatly missed your powerful leaf blades. Farewell, partner. Yero, a Pokemon of your status did not deserve to fall so soon. Wallace would likely have been much easier had I not foolishly misplayed you, and your death will be a lesson to me moving forward to actually do calcs and not just hope Pokemon on speed something. Tansy, you were our powerhouse after Chamomile was lost, and you absolutely carried the beginning of the Wallace fight. Your sacrifice, while it may be in vain today, stands as a reminder of the Pokemon that, when it's needed most, can clutch out the luckiest of gambits. Paul, you put in amazing work against that terrifying Tentacruel, and you didn't deserve to be taken us so soon by that Ludicolo's devilish RNG. You will forever be a martyr for every Pokemon in danger of a critical hit, which is a failure of a disciple Flygon HD. I'll be sure to always play around from here on out. And finally, your death was an unfortunate result of the worst case scenario. Your confusion managed to defeat Wallace's Gyarados from beyond the grave, however, making you, in a way, the true winner of this run. Godspeed, all of you. May you find peace in a land far, far away from me and my irresponsibilities. Oh, also, we swept the post-game Steven fight. Subscribe!